Welcome back. Hello, everybody. It's episode 11 or 12. I'm not sure. I think it might be 10, 13, or 12. I don't know. Welcome to the show. We're playing Valheim here. Valheiming with Hankheiming. Oh, man. It's been a little while since I recorded. And actually, I think I feel like I pronounced that weird. I haven't, what am I saying? Oh, I wasn't planning on doing any playing tonight. I had, something weird just happened, actually. I had died in the game. And that's what just made me decide to start recording, because I just feel awake. It's midnight, Sunday night, which is definitely not my plan. I wasn't going to do a show or anything tonight. I was getting ready to go to bed, just sort of relaxing. And I got smoked by a fulling, a level 1 star over at Plains Farm. What the fuck? I thought I had the shield up enough to survive a hit. And, dead in one move. Maybe the shield wasn't up, or maybe a shield isn't enough to survive a single club blow from one of those guys. So just impulsively, I was like, you know what? I'm going to do a show without the camera. And then I set up the OBS software, and then I realized it's like, I need the camera. I got to do it. And then I had to turn the lights on behind me and put on my glasses, because that's part of my brand. No, I bet, put the glasses on and, muscle up, ruffle up my hair, make it look nice, make it look a little unkempt in a cool way. And then as soon as I kind of was turned on OBS and was like switching some stuff around, Valheim crashed. Didn't expect that, and just assumed it would have sort of done a save. I just kind of figures it's always saving. Apparently, yeah, that doesn't really work that way. And then I woke up and I wasn't dead, meaning I had my clothes. And whatever I did that went and got myself killed, which is mostly just sorting around here, doing some farting around the base a little bit. I didn't die. So we don't get to wake up in my loincloth as though it was about to start the show, and that we don't have to go recover the body. Feels a little bit like I cheated there, but also at the same time, no problem. I'm fine with it. So, life has been a little nuts. And I bogged myself down in this show on my Suck Professor attempt. Exactly the thing I had understood going in is that the only way this is going to work was if I keep it simple and make it so that the production, for like the post-production is pretty brainless and fast. I spent about 20 hours this weekend, starting Friday night at around 9 p.m. Edited till about 10 p.m. Well, like up until I was awake until about 3 a.m. and then I woke up around 6 or 7, started working on it again. I had to do a couple other things, so I didn't fully edit, but I was editing till Saturday. This is for a show I just did on my other channel, Winners and Losers. 5-hour-long show. Some pretty important things that were in it, and but turning around a 5-hour episode of that show took a ton. And you can do a 5-hour edit in 6 minutes if all you do is just like clip the ends and maybe, collapse the P breaks, make sure the audio is looking okay, stuff like that. You can actually get it done pretty fast. Hit the export. You still got to manage a big file. But this one required a ton of extra work, ton of extra little stuff. If you're familiar with my thing over on Winners and Losers, you understand. I'm sure you do. I know you do. But yeah, go look at it. So a lot more tension is starting to build over there. The channel's getting up to actually it was 1.77 earlier today, and now it's at 1.78 subscribers. So it's kind of cool to see that number change. Forever, it was just sort of, oh, fuck. Oh, that was definitely going to kill me if I didn't hit that. Let's go get some food. I gotta look out for my self-interest over here. Use some of that survival instinct that the Reader's Digest magazines are always talking about. Damn, I just lost my train of thought. So, yeah, I don't remember where we left off. I've intentionally been avoiding a lot of base building and exploring. So I've been jumping into Valheim and doing farming. I've been loading up on my, I almost said goods and services, but I guess just on goods. I just kind of do sort of the tedious stuff where it's a lot of running around, opening chests, opening barrels. Love these barrels. They got these nice reflective hoops, or as I would have called them, rings. And yeah, so Don't even recall. I'm not sure if I even showed you. Were you on? Was I? When I say you, I just mean was I recording it for you? With when I hung all these wreaths. Eventually, I might want to get the red jute from those, but these things kind of pair nicely. I thought that's kind of cool. Oh yeah, so been doing a lot of farming and producing a ton of bread. I need to get more of these fermenters. Actually, I find it a little bit annoying. I feel like at least one more somehow. I do like the 3 bread ovens. Oh, I did learn this, that you could just store bread in there. See, this is an experiment. I did. Will all 4? Will 1 by itself? And will 0? That's the control, we say in science. And turns out, yes, they seem to be fine. So let's fill them up. See, I told you I'd save all the fun stuff for being on camera. All right, we'll put a couple of pies in there. When I said couple, I meant 1. All right, shit, let's do the math now. There's 1. I need 3. And then the pie will take up space. I need another 3. Okay. Yeah. So. Oh, there it goes. Beautiful. What a satisfying crunchy sound. Duk, 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 duk. Yeah, just been keeping it basic when I jump in. I really like the farming. It's now that they've added a by the way, if you fall asleep to this, I will feel very flattered and complimented. So please please go ahead. Please let yourself drift off. Just think of me as like a big mustache, even though mine is erasing itself. I'm starting to lose it. But it's going at least from one side to the other, so it's not going to close this way, which, you know, why that's bad. But we have a farming skill, and it's up to 50. You can tell I've been doing a lot of farming. Stamina use, cultivator wear, harvest radius, and chance for bonus. I'm still not quite sure exactly what harvest radius means. I assume it means like how close to it do you have to be to pick it up, which means that if it's a bigger radius, it's easier to kind of like pick them up when you sweep over them. But it's also, and I don't know if this, I feel like that's the best case, or meaning like that's the best of the scenario, or, you know, explainer. But it might be the radius of a plant from which it will survive or not, so if they can get closer to each other, because you could make it a lot more efficient if the turnips don't need to have the space between them as much. You know what I mean? But I think the first one probably. So, nevertheless, lots of good improvements in terms of my farming skill. Been doing a little fishing too. Been gathering up a lot of fishing. Yeah, I just don't remember where we are in the construction. So I'm going to take us around the base a bunch. Boy, it's really weird when to die and then the game crashes. I was really all prepared to have to run back, and there's a 1-star falling standing around proudly, I would hope, over the corpse of his victim. Probably thinking in concepts of like justice and stuff like that, which I understand. So let's make sure, let's get some food, my sort of standard upgrade. I think I'm getting a little tired of wearing this suit. I like it because it gives you speed. It's got a bonus. Are we recording? How's that looking? Yeah, that's looking okay. It's got a bonus set effect. The Fenris armor makes you quick on your feet so you can pass through fire, and your fists feel the power of the beast. But it does make you quick. Movement speed plus 9% bonus. So, but I'm just, I don't know. I'm finding, I do, yeah. Well, let's go change. We'll change, but let's gather up our food first. So, as you know, my big base project is coming along, and a major motivator for it is getting this inventory system sorted out. And in order to even do the base project, which is to build up these really awesome rooms. I love these rooms. Of course, it's really stupid to like store all your gold right by the front entrance, as close to them as possible. Not as possible, but maybe the gold should be like tucked away deep in the base somewhere. I mean, this is actually important. Shiny metals make everything happen. And but I did get some guys came by and beat up the base of some here, so I put all these stones out here, sort of experimenting a bit with the kind of fencing. This spiky stuff doesn't hurt when you jump on it, which is kind of fun. Make sure you eat here. So I want to do more with these with those build items, that spiky fence thing. There's some up here actually. Oh god damn it. That I used like as in the just as this little background thing. Yeah, these guys. And so then they're down, sticking down like that. But I don't know. I mean, I just sort of playing around with these things. I'm always looking for ways to use stuff that's, using maybe just the end of it or turning it some way and using the edge, and that might change that kind of resources you need to use. I did finish this other side. See, I don't remember if I showed you guys. I think I did. I think I might have recorded that. I'm bogged down with this edit where I don't even know if you've seen it. Meaning, like, by the time you're watching this, you know more than I do. So I edited another 7 minutes. And what I did was you've seen, yeah, okay. So you already know. But I stood up here somewhere, actually up here. Let's get all the way up. I'm rushing here, so just bear with me here. So I was all the way up here, and I had that vision, and I said, I have a vision. And then it was very tedious, actually, but I did successfully match both sides. That's why I have those long things crossing there. I had a lot more before. So these are equidistant. I think I've maintained the pixel grid of the floor from left to right. And so I have these large flat pieces, and I want to duplicate this bridge, and I want to stretch that out this way. You can tell. Gonna get rid of all these stairs back here, build a connection between this building and this bedroom area. I love the bedroom. It's kind of fun, like the green skull, but it's very vulnerable feeling. A lot of these, it's just a little bit too exposed, I feel like, just in terms of how it's going to, I kind of want it to be a closed room, but I don't have a lot of completely closed rooms in this whole world, actually. But, okay, so let's head on over here, and, that's right, we're going to change clothes, weren't we? What did I say we were going to do? Yeah, that's right, just keeping my, okay, so that's the helmet. Just take the armor. Santa. Sorry, Santa. The Santa hat actually could be a Thanksgiving decoration if you really wanted it to be. Let's just 1, 2, 3. Now that's kind of fun. There you go. I would totally dress around like that if I had a bod. So nope. And then all right, so we got to get used to running slowly now, though. It's going to feel like I'm running through molasses. I should be able to put the Santa hat on top of that guy. Oh, come on. I feel like I just got pranked. That's just silly. Who's going to take this man seriously? What a weird... I just wish it had a little bit more give to it. It looks like I'm wearing an instrument or like some weird thing. I don't know. I couldn't think of anything funny. Okay. The fuck was I doing? All right. So we're going to do that. So what is this thing? This has a movement speed loss of 10%. Do I need pants? Wolfhide trousers. Okay. Yeah. Somehow I've just set this barrel is my thing. Oh yeah. I don't think you guys saw. I had to, I needed copper. So I built these just to crank out a bunch of copper. Definitely not the final resting place. Did I show you the building of that cool bridge? I don't know how much I like it in terms of it kind of breaks this inner circle sort of thing. So this might end up going away, but I do like the aesthetic. Where's my hammer? I call this my bridge cleaning hammer. So let's heal. Let's clean up the bridge. All right. Lovely. maybe do a little actual looking towards it instead of just randomly clicking around. Okay. These core woods, they don't go bad when they're vertical. And when I say go bad, it means they lose half their power because they get wet. That's what I'm doing now. But look how cool that looks now that I brought them back to full vibrant color. I upped the saturation, basically. Yeah, so real tedious kind of keeping track of all these stupid portals. And up here, I'm just sort of tinkering with maybe I'll do posts. You could definitely build like a whole little cubby. These noises are so... A whole kind of cubby thing. A whole sort of... That's kind of what I was experimenting with there a little bit. But I mean, this could be... We could drastically increase the amount of decorations going on there. But then I just realized, like, I don't need to maintain each one. I just need to keep the words on a wall, right? Like these are... I have a bunch that are called these, and so we'll experiment with going to those someday. And these are just stored ones. So I think eventually we're going to end up with like a different wall of some kind, maybe. But this is an easier way to store knowledge. You can also put them on the map and type it in there somewhere. Look at all the deaths. But yeah, it's working though. It's working. So I have this upper area, and we need a duplicate version. Where's that deer? What are you doing making noise? What are you doing? Show yourself. That's not a deer. That's a guy just wandering around. Crow, 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 crow. Okay, so I need to build another. I think it's 12 by, I don't know, something like that. So I need to completely duplicate that side, which will be great. Now that I'm doing a video for you, although I can do some base work, which is kind of fun. I'm really surprised I'm recording right now. It's after midnight on Sunday, and I don't need to be doing. I need a lot of energy tomorrow. I've been so busy. I've been really working hard on the other project. The show I just put up is 5 hours long. It's just so stupid to do. Oh God, the editing just took forever. But it's really important that I don't screw it up. At least I do the best I can. And actually, there is a goof in there that I almost decided to fix it, but I couldn't. I didn't want to do another 2-hour export. There's other ways of fixing it quicker, but that you can use the file that you just exported and then just patch over the thing where it's messed up. But then you lose quality, which 8,000 kbps is usually like my standard for YouTube 1080p videos. And honestly, I don't think anyone would ever notice the difference, but I would know the difference. I left it in. It doesn't look terrible, and it's totally fine. So, oh yeah. So what do I got going on? Anything else I can share? Oh, you know what? Let's do this real quick. I have a, so I'm not sure how much progress we'll make in this video, but eventually this farm has got to go. We're going to move this farm. It's my original. It certainly has kept our bellies full and our rectums empty for a very long time here at the base. But we will, but it's running. This guy sucks. Jesus. I'm so used to sort of flying. I'm like, I went from a plus 9% to a minus 10%. So, but I feel like we can do farming over here. Maybe, like we'll flatten some of these and we'll do like a turnip farm and an onion farm and a carrot farm. And those will be dedicated spaces. None of this, what do I feel like growing stuff? Okay. None of that. Yeah, but lots of work. Kind of just need to clear rocks. I had initially sort of wanted this to be a commentary, a treatise, if you will, a manifesto, perhaps. No, not really, but by leaving all the devastated like tree stumps and the rocks and stuff, I was going to make a great point about capitalism. But I think the world's doing a fine enough job of that as it is, don't you? What a weird time, huh? What the hell? How on earth can we please? The sun looks cool right there, doesn't it? So I have it, I'm all over the place. I know, don't worry. It's okay. I love walking up into these, though. I need to fix this whole little corner bit. I don't think there's going to be too complicated. But I have a bee somewhere. Let's find my bee. This is too annoying. All these things are so annoying when they... Oh, careful. No, no bee. That is my midsummer crown, though. I think the bee... Where's the bee? Where you be, bee? So, is there a bee? I know I saw a bee recently. How could I have misplaced a bee? So yeah, what was I saying? I don't remember. I wanted to just go rescue my body with you, but now we're not doing that. That's not the bee. I know. I should be able to... These are kind of random over here. Yes, there's the bee. Okay. All right, well, now that it's dark, we're going to have to go to sleep. I just want to do this in the daylight. It just looks better. But it is a fun place. It is a cool place. Actually, you know what we'll do? Another thing I've been wanting to do for a while. What the hell's making that noise? Did I hear something weird? I don't know. We're gonna get rid of that room. It's not serving us any good anymore. Why do I have a bow? What a crappy ass bow. Must have been on the... Okay, why did I do that? Alright, we'll put the bow back. Cool. I sort of want to start building other weapons that I don't even use and have good skill for. Just to have kind of a weapon locker storage, as well as decorations, of course. Most important part of life. I did catch some tuna, so I've expanded it. In fact, I've got a bunch of tuna over here in my tuna barrels. Want to see? Look, four level 1 tunas. 2 level 2 tunas. 0 level 3 tunas. 0 level 4 tunas. Womp womp. No level 5s. Perfect podcasting there, buddy. So, really cool base, though. I'm really digging this. Oh, yeah, that's what I was finishing that thought. Is that, like, since I had to come up with a different inventory system that I thought would be, like, temporary for the construction process, because eventually I want to have them all up here, or maybe just down here. And this basement is functional, but also it's nothing at all what I want, because I have, it's just not sorted. I want to go to one spot and dump everything easily. But ultimately, you just have, like, staging area, you know, your different. So, yeah, you know, yeah, well, but I do quite like this corner, and I like this stuff, and I like having the arrows all supplied. Each of these barrels has a different type of arrow, except for the ones that says wood arrows, as you can see. And, yeah, otherwise, it's pretty cool. It's such a nice, clean night, though. You know what I mean? Like, when it's raining, it's much easier to just say, F it, let's go to bed. Let's jump up on top of the roof. Look around a little bit. I need to tear out this fish room. Maybe we'll do that, too. Maybe we'll just get a lot of stuff done since you're here. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. We've got commotion happening. Oh, they're fighting. I see a deer. Let's shoot this guy. 28. Missed him. You don't do that to me. Okay. So do I have stuff to even set these fires? No. Let's go all the way up, though. It's just a nice night. We'll just go up here, up into the snow zone. Look around. Big bright moon. Looking good. I think I've seen meteorites. I think I've seen flashing, or what do they call them? Shooting stars. But you get these lines that are like on the wind, so I don't remember. Maybe I just mistook one of those, but I kind of feel like I really remember reacting to being like, oh my god, a meteorite. Because it seemed like it was up there, but I don't know. I guess we just have to stare up at the stars and wonder about all that cosmic depth. I have decided that I'm going to interview scientists and like I really want to talk to astronomers, especially cosmologists, astronomers, quantum researchers, and I want to say, so I can be like two places. I can do like quantum. You mean like if I think it, I'm in a different reality because of quantum? There's a version of me over there. Spooky action at a distance. No, I don't. But I believe I have insights that all of the scientific community probably needs to hear. I do believe that. That's a complete delusion, but it doesn't stop me from believing it. And one of my complete delusions about the cosmos is that there is no distance. I don't believe in distance anymore. I've decided it's an illusion. So when you look up at the sky and you see all these planets and these distant stars, and now we don't see the planets. We actually are starting to. We detect the planets using infrared spectroscopy. See, big word. No, but we can. There's various ways actually, but you know, light interference, something, the planet, and then they can also detect the sun's wiggle. They can also, you know, the star that it's circling, but they can detect the what do they call them? Transitions. I think that's what they call them. When a transition crosses over, when a planet passes in front of the star, they detect the light dip. They're starting to be able to detect the atmospheric information of the planets that pass in front of the stars. Gravitational lensing is a fascinating area. But the thing I think I'm going to revolutionize our understanding of the cosmos with is my questions to these. Because I assume that the questions will win a Nobel Prize. That when the scientists eventually, I figure out how to afford Zoom so that I don't have to restart. I've only had a few guests on last year, and they were people that I knew. And I realized that if I had people on who I don't know, but I don't even have the ability to like have a Zoom call that doesn't get canceled every 40 minutes, and then you only get 2 of those. So I sort of, but also a booking and getting, but I think I'd have a lot of really great conversations. Obviously, I think you can tell I'm kidding around with the Nobel Prize, but I still kind of have a holdout that this does happen. And I just think that there's a thing here happening where it's not that those stars are that far away. It's that they're here. Because the information about their existence is here. Thus, they're not there. They're here. It's just that the only thing about them that is happening is what's here. And why I think that's doesn't just sound like an absurdity that will make me the laughing stock of the entire scientific community. I'm overconfident, that's why. So, I don't know. I'm going to go for it. Why not? I have this concept, this idea for a show. Sort of, I don't know if I'd call it a format, but either it'd be a standalone. Come on, why the hell did that? Oh, there it goes. A standalone show, but it's called Alleviate My Ignorance. I think our whole society has a lot of ignorance alleviation to do, don't you? Oh, I just can tell what's going on. I'm cold? I'm wearing padded armor. I guess that's the other benefit of the wolf costume. It's not even the wolf costume. It's called the Fenris costume. But let's get a damn coat. I like this one. Is cool for what it is, but it is a little distracting to have this asymmetrical wolf head. Like, come on. Imagine if someone showed up on a date. Be like, you're not asymmetrical. I mean, you're not symmetrical with your clothing. He goes, what wolf? That's ugly. It is cool though. Look at it. That is pretty cool. But it just gets a little annoying having an extra head on your shoulder. That's a huge wolf face. So we'll move it over to the, now that it's sunlight, I don't need it anymore. Boy, nothing's happened at all. I've just been talking, huh? Sorry about that. All right, let's go install a new bee thing. Queen bee thing. Now, see, this is the project though, is to start up the next build, and that's going to require a lot because this whole side of the base has been very neglected. But now that I'm expanding the two big platforms, sort of each platform I'm sort of conceptualizing as their own units, obviously, but like it's like in my brain, it's like an inventory like build that I know I can do repeatedly. So that's pretty fun. I just was here though, so you're not going to get to see me produce the honey, but it is kind of cool. Oh, wait. Oh, that's right. I died. I didn't. It reset. Yes. Yes. Life's finally working out. Press Y to walk. Now I'm going to press forward. I'm trying to get a way to do this in one pass. Does it even work from here? Let's try, because I'm normally walking down the middle. Let's try walking down the side. All right, ready? Oh, see? Oh, God, I always lose. No. And then he almost walks off. You have to auto walk in order to look to the other side. So I missed all of them. Okay. And what made Valheim crash was some with the way that OBS, the recording software, like picks up the signal. That's what. So I'm fairly confident that's what it was. Yeah. So we got 5, 10 on that side, 6 on this side. But it's about to change, baby. Oh yeah. So let's see here. Is that a thing in the way? No. Nope. Bee noises. Sure. Now, how come I wasn't making noise until I just did that? And shoot this deer in the face. You should get extra meat if you hit him in the face. Nice. Okay, so, all right. Let's, we got bee noises. It's really throwing me off. Turn off the auto walk. Why am I wearing this armor? I feel really dumb just doing it. Did we get... I've been producing a ton of bread over here because I've been doing a lot of farming, as I was saying earlier. Yeah, look at this cool base, though, huh? These posts are going to come down someday. These were engineering testing. I was just kind of experimenting with the way everything works, but I left them up there because that's where I proposed to my wife, and she said no. And then Santa came and stole her from me. Santa! What if your wife fucked Santa? Didn't expect me to say that. All right. Talk about ho, ho, ho. See, shouldn't have done it. I'd be a hoe. Okay, let's not. This is where I get. This is when the Robitussin starts kicking in. I'm not on Robitussin. So we got a lot of honey. We got a lot of bread. Let's head up over here to the bridge. Even though I haven't been doing this, but I am trying to be a little more self-aware and conscious of this thing. It's going to get uncomfortable for a second. Of doing this. Of doing snappy turns. Because even though when you play the game, you tend to just sprint around. You tend to just... It kind of feels like this a lot. Sorry, I know I'm overdoing it there. But we're producing a video. we're making content. And I want you to not experience. I want you to be able to track things and it not feel so jumpy. But that doesn't mean I'm always going to nail it, because I certainly will forget everything I just said. But, oh yeah, I put these stairs in here. I kind of like these stairs for getting up. Just like in my own life, everything is about 60 to, 40 to 80% complete. Then it gets abandoned for some other impulse, which is fun. Let's go into my dark room. Right there. Mm-hmm. Okay. Not so dark, is it? There shouldn't be any light in here. It should be dark as heck. It should be darker than the soul of the country. What if I got arrested for saying that? I worry about this. I worry they're going to start, like, oh my God, what is happening? It is just, okay. Now I'm stuck. Let's go into my dark room's dark room. What is that? Oh yeah, I put something there. Let's see what happens. Does it go completely dark? No! This sucks! I want to go completely dark. Is there a settings I can change? Some kind of HDR or something? Depth of field. Yeah, I do. I do turn that kind of on and off a little bit here and there. All right, we'll leave it alone. Let's not mess with the graphics. So yeah, this doesn't go black. I was kind of hoping it would be like you get real dark. I know I can like probably change it up, but this experiment was an impulse. It's been a creepy building on my property for quite a long time. And as you guys know, the world's got enough creepy buildings. You ever get on the internet? Let's tear this out. Let's tear out this creepy ass building. Let me out! I need sunlight. I'm free. No, but honestly, I've been... Ah, so nice. So nice. Now I can connect it to this wall thing. I had a post over here. There's a metal piece up there. Lovely. Oh. Oh. Feels nice, doesn't it? There. Go to sleep. Go to sleep. Honestly, though, like, if somehow people start watching these, and they, I don't expect you to try to sleep. I mean, if you feel like you're... If I talk you into it, okay, sure. But, if you're, like, laying down and it's relaxing, I want my voice to be... I need to get a better mic. These mics are old. But anyway, they serve enough of a purpose. But, look at this. I can walk right over here. Oh, shit. We got all these fucking... So, yeah, we're going to connect this now. But, what makes me... I would feel good if you slept, because that means you feel safe. Or maybe you're just tired. Maybe you just ran a marathon. Maybe you just had to work 19 jobs to help your oxygen lord buy another car. So let's move these now. Haldor. I had placed Haldor right there. We're going to just find somewhere else for Haldor's thing. Haldor. See, this is exactly what I said I wasn't needing to do. But the Haldor ones are, like, pretty important. I mean, meaning I just need to go put a sign over at the signboard that says Haldor. Oh, shit, I didn't even look at that. Was that Hildir? I should have looked at it first. I think that was Hildir. Hildir. Haldor's sister. No? This might be Hildir. Damn. Oh, that's Dore Show. Oh, I know. Okay, hold on. All caps. There it goes. Okay, good. Show is short for shore. So there. What a weird... Sleeping is fun, though. Dore Show. It's the big show. Excellent. There we go. Boink. Oh, major update. This is exciting. And then we'll get to connecting this bridge thing and we'll work on some stuff here. But I had another vision. All my other projects are nowhere near done, so I'm going to move on to something else. This whole lower basin, we see the water out there. And actually, if I can get a hold of a better computer, even though I'm quite happy with the way this one works, but it's a 1080 Ti, and but we can see pretty far into the water. I have the mistake I made was the starting point is right here, and I just kind of was so excited about the building and the experimenting. It was sort of just my first spot. I even have footage of all of that. And I just built right here, and it's just become this massive base. Obviously, I don't want to abandon this base. You know, this is where my heart and soul is. I'm never going to be able to afford to live like this in real life, probably because I play this game too much. I should be working. But I just like a little house and a barn that I could fix up and do TikToks about, like, fixing up the barn. Because I'd be like a funny guy that does, like, oh, look, let's go melt aluminum by the raccoon nest. I'd be like one of those guys. There's a dude on Instagram or TikTok that, like, has a old TV screen that is a magnifying glass thing, but it's just like 4 foot wide. It was like an old part of an old television, like a 2000s television, but it's a solar death ray, and he uses it to, like, it concentrates sunlight, and he just burns stuff. And he has, like, this funny way of talking. That dude is just living a great life. He just fucks her. He has, like, a daughter and a wife, and they, like, fuck around. But he's, like, kind of a smart scientist, but not really at all. But he just fucks off with his, and he seems to be having a blast. This piece of rock just suddenly started melting. It was rad. He's like in his 50s. Dream. What a dream. I hate him. He's my comfort. No, I just watch it. I go, that looks fun. That looks like a fun way to do things. Filming ants eating hot dogs and stuff. Like, come on. I do that in my sleep. I could do that with one dick tied behind my back. Okay? Oh yeah, my vision. So I had another vision. And it is, because I put the base right here, the closest spot for me, and I don't know if you've seen this so far. Oh, sneeze coming on. What if, like, something came out of my mouth and I just like awkwardly jammed it back in, and it had glowing eyes? No, so here's my base, the southeast shore. And that's about as close as we get to the open ocean. You can see we've done a lot of adventuring. The tedious nature of myself wants to go over here and clear map. I think we'll probably end up doing that together, you and me. The ocean voyages are always good for fun. And we've explored a bunch, but truly, there is a lot of this world that remains. Look at that. Look at that. That's awesome. Those words. James, the roommate, says he uses like 2 or 3 of these white indicators. Maybe he has more than 2 or 3, but he saw this once and he almost had a heart attack, which would be bad because he has a fucking open heart surgery heart. We all want James's heart to stay intact, obviously. And so when you haul metal back, in fact, that's another thing we could be doing, but you have to then, because the metal doesn't go through the portal, so you have to go get it with a boat. And then you got to run it all the way back here. So the option is to then build a metal processing something over here at the shore. That would work. Ears are bugging me. I need to get a better mixing board, honestly. I think a newer mixing boards have a thing called two-way, so that I could hear the game in my headphones and my, anyway. Don't you worry about that. I don't want you thinking there's any kind of struggle here behind the curtain of the this tech behemoth known as the Suck Professor Gaming channel. So, but what I had been sort of pondering is maybe there's an alternative. It works fine. I get a lot of metal. I've got a lot of metal to process, but you see this cool water and you see this kind of nice basin, sort of scoopy land thing. These trees are beach. They're ugly, easy to cut down, not a problem. But I had this idea that maybe, and at first I thought perhaps I could cut through here, but maybe I could take and build a base on this lake and access the world through a different route. In other words, that would cut the running time from this distance to this. That's basically halving it. Like that scene in When Harry Met Sally. And the lady says, I'll halve what she's halving. And she's referring to a croissant, because half a croissant is plenty. And that's why you would cut one in half. A film reference, by the way. Sorry if you don't know. David Lynch died, by the way. Go watch our YouTube on here in Suck Professor. The Return, Season 3. I actually looked at it and was like, holy crap, I did all kinds of like crazy editing. And I would be up till like 4 in the morning working on those. I like that these clouds are passing over. Do they match? Is it the same? Is it like if I look up, is it the same cloud? I bet it might be. Sorry, I'm trying to. Okay, so if I look up. Okay, what am I doing? Why? Okay, so. Okay, you kind of already figured it out. I'm stretching this out a little bit. But I thought I would do a base close to here and then carve through the rock. And it still might be possible. I might even experiment eventually. It's like building a canal. I've run around a bunch over here. And I've run over here. And it's still, these kind of are a little hilly. And the game doesn't let you dig as deep as you want. So there's some kind of limit to the hill. So you can go down. And I feel like it probably wouldn't work. I could take a boat in here, park it. But then I saw, look at all this. Look at this river thing. Right? This has access to this. It comes out to the water. We would obviously clearly be able to get through here. It might even be already open, but if we have to do a little bit of surgery to open this up, that's doable. Might even build a cool, look, I even wrote cool area marshy. That would be like a compliment if my girlfriend's name was Marcia. Right? I'd say, oh, cool area, marshy. But we have to investigate. And this is super cool right here. I even put in a thing that says big wall. Now, I don't know if my girlfriend Marshy wants to hear me say big wall, Marshy. Oh, Marshy, your brass knuckles. Marshy and I have a strange relationship. But okay, what am I doing? Marshy didn't exist until 40 seconds ago. But this looks very doable. Down to here. Remember, base, we'll call it Twin Rock Fishing. And we can build out a whole connection to the base. Tear out those trees, terraform a lot of this land, turn it. I like the idea of doing these sort of steps, but you know, we could be open to any kind of changes as we get going. Let me eat another bite. And so base here, metal, easy. We'd have to come over here. This looks like we'll definitely need to cut. I haven't explored this yet. I actually decided to save it to do it with you. And then we'll have the river. I imagine there's probably areas in here I'll have to expand. I'll bet you it'll be a nightmare. I'll bet you'll just constantly get stuck. Because navigating the boat through these little waterways is probably going to be difficult. This will be an interesting spot. I do kind of remember that because obviously I was there. And then we'll have this whole base or this whole waterway here. But where does this spill out to? Its own lake. What the fuck? That means we can then use this as a way out. This looks really nice and open. You know? And then the big uncertain, although I do think I'll be able to make it work, is cutting through here. This is a huge project, actually. But I think it'd be fun. I think this looks cool. And then when we come home, instead of just taking the boat around here to Southeast Shore and then running the metal to the base, we'll waste a ton of time sailing all the way over here through the lake into a river through this little pass. It'll probably take longer. It'll probably ultimately be more work because it increases the distances. But I still want to do it because it'll be visuals for where we're standing, and we can do cool rows of glowing yellow lights. The yellow lights, mushrooms. I couldn't think of the word. I love that idea. I really love that idea. I haven't done shit in this episode. It's like we're like 50 minutes in already. Fuck. I can't step. I don't think I'm going to do 2. I think I'm only going to do 1. All right, let's go sleep. We'll push past an hour just a little bit just to make sure we get some stuff done. Wait, that's not where I sleep. I want to finish this cool architectural feature, which is like a backbone. And that's also something we can replicate like in different spots. So it looks like it's like traveling itself through the base. Wouldn't that be kind of cool? Sometimes I go to bed and I leave my like house coat on. I love winter when I can wear my house coat. What the fuck just happened? Which is this jacket that I'm wearing. It's just it's my favorite thing. It's all worn out. It's getting like all busted up. See that little white thing moving around in the shot? That's like I didn't even notice it until I noticed it. And it's cozy. Been walking, been making sure that I'm getting outside. I for sure was living the shut-in video editor, hyper focused on a documentary project kind of thing. Hyper focused on keeping my head on straight. Not really, meaning my head not feeling good. All right, so we gotta go get some rocks. Let's just do it. Do I have any in there? Let's put some... Oh, shit. That's like the most important part. We'll just put some stuff in here. Why not? Well, I'll sort it out later. Uh-oh. Do I hear wind to get building? So yeah. Oh, yeah. Another thing I've been doing is gathering up stone for the all the construction that's going to be happening. We need a lot of stone. I think there's a bunch here. That's right. Look at that. Looks fun. But there's a heck of a lot more in other spots. But I think it goes quick once you really like get your plan going and you start doing it. That's fine. Okay, so let's get up there. Let's complete that bridge thing. And maybe we'll expand down the other side too. Let's just not waste a bunch of time yapping. Okay. So one thing that I do want to just check real quick is this: if this is a perfect half size, then we know we're doing good on the grid. I always kind of like to confirm the grid. Even when it's gapped like that, I'm more feeling how it snaps. Because the graphics change around a little bit when you... Like if that snaps to that, but if that comes in at the same spot... Yeah, I think that looks good. So that's nice. I like to see that. And there is parts where the grid kind of offsets that are sort of on purpose. Not necessarily, but like away. It's not an accident. Okay. All right. Oh yes, yes. Come on. Sure. I might come back here and mess with this on my own. Just because I'm not being real thoughtful right now. I tend to try to be overly thoughtful, overly meticulous. I don't even mean thoughtful in like a complimentary way. I just mean like, that's kind of what my whole deal is I can overthink shit. But there are times where I know how to be like, now is the time to overthink. It's kind of what I like about woodworking is you just basically sit around thinking. Stand around going, okay, all right, okay, yep, that makes sense. Okay, let's try that. And then you do something, and then you go, ow, ow, fuck, ow, my eyeball. My finger. All right. Look at that. That's awesome. How cool is that? How cool is this? Will this hold? Will this hold? Come on. Oh! I thought I would get the other one done in time. Oh, shit. Did that do it? The fuck? What is happening? I'm trying to just... There you go. Okay. Yeah, fine. It'll all get changed around eventually. So let's go over this side now. I think I gotta get some metal. I think I need a lot more than what I got right now. Steel metal is getting a little bit, or iron, I guess we're calling it, is getting a little bit low. That's definitely something I'm going to be doing sooner than later is hitting up some swamps. Okay, all right. So, I'm not even sure how I'm going to pace all this out right now. Actually, maybe it's best if I get up here. Yeah, like I think building out all this spot, and then we'll be able to make much better decisions about the bedroom and how we want the bedroom to sort of come together. All right, so that's a two-person bridge, or two-person, a two-sider. Okay, following those. Let's eat some food. So I probably need... Get the hell out of the way, cart. Not in the right position. There we go. Yeah, so this is a bit of a... Do I want to duplicate this? I think I just need to keep the height. Do those even go across? No. Okay. This is done a little... This is one of the earlier ones I did when I started doing these, so I might even change this up too. Meaning like normal, I think, not normally, but like on those sides I have sort of just 90-degree angles and I have, they span the whole way. The important thing is that I just maintain the grid and then the distance is out. Which once we get over into the farm area, we have taller things to do, to worry about, so... Let's just go for it, though. Quit yammering. Yes, yes. Clonk. 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 Oh no, clouds are forming. Please don't. Yeah, this is going to be interesting structurally. So we're going to have to keep it... Not keep it. Do it differently. Ugh, goddamn rain. I hate it. Like, we got this whole basement spot. It's not even spaced out nicely. We might get a look at Santa. I had a couple of close calls, almost killed him. Meaning I had like a reasonably decent angle. Oh shit, what did I just do? I felt like I just put something up that I didn't. Out of metal. Oh, there it goes. See? Look. Die! Die! Someday. Mark my words. Someday. I will get the vengeance I have always craved. I am the vengeance craver. It's just a misspelling of carver. Okay, I meant to leave the rocks and the stone over there so it'd be easier to... I'm really tired of running around in this fucking slow-ass suit. Where's my metal? Oh, it's over here. Why did I put that wood away? I need that wood. 15 wood. We're gonna go on a trip real quick here because I can't stand the rain sound. It really messes my head up. It's just, I feel very uncomfortable. I know I could turn the volume down. But I just want to get this up here. And I might do a lot of tedious sort of sorting this stuff out, make sure I got things the way I like them, because... Oh. Oh. Come on. There, at the bottom. There we go. How many more? It's 9. Alright. What am I doing? What the fuck's happening? Okay. No. These can stretch pretty far and still hold. Pretty generous distance. Jeez. Is that like a construction? I wonder if that's a construction skill. Missing requirement. Oh, man. Like I gotta get some stairs or something over here. I mean, yeah, this whole farm thing is gonna move. It's gonna be underneath that height there. Oh, I thought I had... Okay. I know there's metal in one of these spots. You know, I gotta keep my bone circles around my Christmas trees. That's clearly very important. Did I see that bastard? I know it's... I know you've been texting my wife. I wish I was persuasive enough, because then I would talk all my friends into believing that their wives are having illicit affairs with Santa. And then they would have tormented thoughts. Because they'd be like, Hank told me. It must be true. Okay. Alright. F it. F it. Oh, I don't know. Okay. Bing. Hey, it's a start. It's gonna be cool, man. And then we'll have like, I'll build some stone things. We'll get rid of this farm. But let's just hustle a little bit off this frickin'... Well, I guess... Oh. I also wonder if there's a rhyme or reason to the Santa spawn. Let's pick up some flour here. Bright lights. Bright lights. Okay. Let's put crap away there. Alright. I'm gonna put the bread... We'll come back to that, because I think that flour goes bad or something. I don't really know. But I can't take it. This will get me to the Plains farm. And hopefully there's no rain over here. Even though it lingers when you move, when you travel, but it goes away. Thank you. Sweet mercy. Yeah, so this is my plains farm. Not very well protected. I have been killed here a lot. I have to always be careful about these stupid mosquitoes. They're in the distance too far, but I've kept not shooting at that Lox over there and have maintained his existence for a very long time. I feel like that just saves us spawn hassle kind of situation, you know? Always good to kill the birds, for they're useful. Okay. Alright, let's do some planting, I guess. It is wet. It is raining here, but at least we don't have that damn storm driving us all nuts. So I am kind of hoping that having a slower walking speed or just a different walking speed might help with the farming, with the planting. Been experimenting with, like, okay, let's say if I plant 400, I like to put the seeds up, or the items up there so I can see them while it's on screen. So if I plant 400 barley and you get the bonus, and I think I got like 50 something bonus, and so as the skill goes up, we'll get more bonus, which is fun. 49. So this is where we are in 49. Okay. Just do a back up a little bit. Kind of got to find the optimal distance. I could do kind of like a circle thing like I do in the other one, but I've mostly been in the mood of just sort of running. Those might have been too close to each other. Excellent. So, you know, there's, you know, optimizing the distance between them and how fast you can, how much density you can add per, you know, square meter. Killing lots of bugs. But they can be too close to each other too, which we might even see up here if we... Oh, 50. Hell yeah. Alright, so we're at farming 50. Sweet. Adding the... Why did I skip that one? Adding the crafting, the skill thing to the farming and the cooking really got me doing a lot more farming. So just and they have this super satisfying noise. You get this little orange indicator, this little orange number button thingy, and it goes like blink. It's like a real nice blink, blink. It's like a real satisfying. I think that's like, and there's the random nature of it. It has a almost an addictive quality. When that's like what gambling addiction and other sorts of actually scrolling on your phone is known to be using this unfortunate part of humanity, which is that randomness is kind of messes with the way we assess reward, and therefore it feels somehow more like you don't, if you can predict it, it becomes less interesting, and so therefore you lose interest. Well, I guess that's what that means. But like, yeah, yeah, I suppose it's probably still possible. See, look, that one is messed up there. You can also do it along the side. This is probably a pretty good way to do it too. Hang on. Let me kill this local. Take that, local! But I was on vacation! I got poisoned by the local. Fair. Considering the murder. I hear the buzzing. Ooh, is that a root thing? Let's just, I don't think so. Nope. All right. Well, I'm going to go to bed and scroll. That's what I'm going to do. I keep vowing to read. Why am I not? Why is it so hard to pull the trigger on that? Like, I always like it. I always feel good. I read a lot as a kid. I used to read a lot, man. I was like a 13-year-old kid reading Stephen King books and stuff. I feel so ignorant. There's so much wonderful fiction and sci-fi. I've spent a little time looking up sci-fi series that I wanted to read, because I get into phases or moods where I, follow through a little bit on looking up stuff. Man, it's so nice to inhabit those brilliant worlds that people build. And then there's all kinds of wonderful writers, fiction or nonfiction and historical books out there. Certainly with my politics, I feel like I need to educate myself a lot more on various, writers and thinkers of the different eras of stuff. Since I spend time on the internet talking about it like I'm some goddamn commentator, which is honestly literally the only thing I'm really can do in life. I can't hold regular jobs. I can't handle the light. If I have to deal with other people's stuff, and these days, man, it is so much worse than it ever was. But for me, I always had it kind of. I guess that's the kind of thing when you learn what autism is and you kind of assess that. I am self-diagnosed. I use the phrase late identified more, and I'm 100% confident that if I find a good person to do an assessment, they're very expensive and there's waiting lists and there's really not much benefit to doing it. But yeah, I can't even take those fucking tests because I go, this logic makes no sense. This is bullshit. I hate this question. This is stupid. I get up. Like, I hate those. Right. Yeah. And actually they're supposed to have a practitioner administer those so they can watch you do it and figure, and I would just, yeah. But I particularly since my childhood was filled with all kinds of like little moments that I was speaking full sentences way before other kids were, and that's not all autistic people, but that's a thing called hyperlexia. It's an indicator. My mom talked about taking me to a fireworks show when I was 2. And me having like this massive meltdown, just totally freaking out, and she had to flee. She said I was screaming and crying, and we had to run. Poor lady, probably panicked her ass off. But then I also I don't have memories of being in a lot of pain at fireworks shows like that, like being in so much discomfort. I never was really into it. I always, there's certainly some times where I always thought I find adults that are super into fireworks to be just like, what are you doing? What the fuck's going on with that? Just go get Photoshop and look at colors. But like in the last several years, but I've also come to understand what masking means. It's not just like simply making others comfortable in a sense so that you're trying to conform, but you're hyper vigilantly making sure that your autism, I'm only doing the air quote thing because this is before I knew that I was autistic. I was masking the entire time, but understanding it's also about the energy you burn internally so that you don't really respond the way your body is feeling. And I've always been weird about light. I've always had difficulty with understanding lyrics and music, or understanding if I can't see someone's lips moving, I have a hard time understanding them. I mean, it's like anything I can do to like people with heavy accents, I lose it. I don't mean like I get mad. I'm just saying like I can't do it. I really struggle. I mean, I know that's not like that's unique, but comparatively speaking, and with tinnitus too, I have. But like, I think because the way I've come to learn, and it seems to be the way it works, and it seems to make sense to it makes a ton of sense to me in terms of my own life. I can't go back to the age of 2 or 3, but you sort of experience early traumas in terms of social dysregulation and social tension that comes from your inability to sort of understand social cues. Not that we expect 2 or 3-year-olds to be like the most socially adept but like you learn to pretend that the fireworks don't hurt, you know? I spent so much time in bars and so much time in comedy environments. Usually those are bars, but just loud spaces, and often felt very overwhelmed, often struggled to I was very I didn't know what parties were until my brother got popular and some kids invited me to the party because they wanted my brother, like just because I was my cool brother's brother. Oh, I heard a guy. They like to smash up on my stuff. So now I'm glad I'm wearing the armor. And then I went to a party and I just remember being like really disappointed. I was like, this is what a party is? Standing around talking and fucking around. This is kind of stupid. I mean, I tried to fit in because it was like pretty girls and stuff, you know. I was like 15. Hey, that's my plant. Dare you? Last time you do that. Now, any one of those on their own doesn't indicate autism. It's not the same as that. But it's such an interesting notion. I think there's a lot of misunderstanding about that's the masking is so complex. I actually think it's kind of it's an imprecise word because it's such a important and very present part of the entire deal for most. And what happens when you don't know is that you burn out. And I've been in a really stressful thing lately, as well as a lot of stresses before that. And I had been trying to deal with them. And I also, another commonality for late identified autistics is to go through phases where you think you're a highly sensitive person. I still would probably call myself that if I had to, just like, because the descriptors still apply. But I remember seeing that and being like, wow, this makes a lot of sense. I really relate to all these highly sensitive people on here talking about the way their emotions boil up and the way they have empathy for people that they don't always have control over. And they cry easily and they light noise kind of bothers them. And they're highly sensitive and it sometimes comes with strong skills at certain topics or things or spiky traits. I'm highly sensitive. And now when I see those comment threads, and I think as a consciousness of autism's going up too, there's always a comment that's just like, y'all are just autistic. not that you want to should be in there like fighting them. If that's their truth that they want to live, I was, go for it. But yeah, I'm talking too much here. I'm starting to get into a mood. This might be the guy that murdered me. All right, we're gonna get some vengeance. I'm going naked on this asshole. I'm gonna fucking kill you naked, motherfucker. Are you sleeping yet? No, I'm not gonna do this naked. I'm just trying to be goofy. Of course, the cape kind of destroyed the naked effect. Like a magician in a closet. I have a stand-up bit, and I never told it as a bit because it's just a funny. I mean, I just know that if I were doing stand-up, I would develop this into a bit. But about how we should be grateful that magicians are all narcissists because if they knew how to work together, they could take over the world. Magicians would be easily 50 magicians coordinating their efforts would take over the planet. Of course, what we have now is narcissist billionaires, 50 of them taking over the planet. So what do we? They need more money. But he's supposed to. What was I talking about? Autism or something? Why did I bring that up though? All right, buddy. Oh crap! I should have eaten food first, actually. And this is like low health food. Look how much that hurt me. Damn. Maybe the shield just sucks, or did they strengthen these guys or something? I'm dying if he hits me with that again. Oh, almost. Oh, hey, hi, you. But I used to have so much more like I'm still a very confident driver, but once I get going on, there's no stopping it. Those dudes have more stuff. But like I get down into the world and I just being around the lights, and LA is a very tough place for sensitivity, for all the lights and the noise and the cars and the speed. It just is too much, and people, and I don't have the same abilities that I used to have in terms of being able to track everybody, because I just lose the ability to kind of maintain focus. Like the only way I can kind of, maybe if you can try to get your head around what it feels like. If my dad's on, this happened once. I mean, it happens all the time when someone's on the phone and they're like, oh, I almost called them fish. There's guys over here now. The best way to describe it, so like if there's beeping, it's always fun to do it this way, actually. I want to try to get this guy's attention without killing him. Ah, shit. And that glowing stuff is annoying. Yeah, it didn't work. Run! Oh, I don't have health either. Alright, we'll do that. It's really fun to get the wraiths to fight the Fullings. Alright, let's go over there. Let's do this. I'm gonna do a show. We're gonna do a show, you know what I mean? If I'm gonna win a Nobel Prize for my questions to an astronomer. So I think that, like, there's no such thing as distance. And, like, it's already here, man. You're brilliant. Come on. Now you guys fight. Have at it. I was worried they had gained class consciousness. Oh. Well. Alright. That backfired. Alright, bring it on. That's right, fool. And it's called skill regression. And it's an understood phenomenon that because my body can not, I just can't deal with, like, I have this little white shot on this website here to literally to light the shot for the, like, if I turn it off, like, see, like, so I click over to a different tab and it's white. That's driving me kind of nuts. Not that it's super hard all the time. This is pretty easy. I can deal with this. And when I'm in this recording mode, I sort of generate a little bit of extra energy for it all, because I like doing this. This is the editing, and the everything else about life sucks except for the part where I get to fucking flap my stupid gums. I love doing it. Oh, that's right. That's what I was saying. It's like the only thing I can do is this shit. My dream is to be on a radio show or just something where I don't have to do the pre or the post. If I could just, like, be alive and then, like, 2 hours a day just barf words into a microphone and people go, "We love what you say." That would be a nice life. Working on it. Poorly. But yeah, I mean I've been experiencing that, where trip to the grocery store, 2 or 3 stops maybe, and I'm done. I have to decompress coming home. I almost crashed the car not the other day, but like a year or so ago, where like this motorcycle was behind me and I was pulling out of a grocery store parking lot, and I panicked because I couldn't think straight because of the sound of the motorcycle. And it wasn't like super loud. It was just sort of like a rumbling motorcycle. And so I made a weird turn and I kind of bumped the car up on the curb a little, and it freaked me out, man. And it's really tough. Airports are hard, and not that I'm traveling a lot. All right, we're gonna kill these dudes, but yeah, I've very much been experiencing that. These tar guys are. As long as you're not stupid, they're easy. Like, I don't even think my shield does anything. Can you even block them? You just got to kind of go in ready to dodge once and then move in, but I don't want to get caught by both of them. So we'll shoot this one here. Oops. And just like pretending to give a shit about stuff is hard, man. That's a big part of it too. It's like, really, I'm supposed to like act like I already I have to listen to people talk. Oh, guy's fighting one over there. One of those tars shot a mosquito. See how the green guy's running around now that he's got tar on him? I love how it looks. Get him! But one of those tar guys shot a mosquito, and that black dark thingy was flying around like this weird cloud of stuff. It was crazy. It was a great memory. It was really fun. And yeah, all right. Well, I mean, what else was I saying? Was there some point I was going to make? I feel like I had some big thread I just had totally abandoned. I do believe there's something. Did I get his attention? I wonder what they're always laughing about. Is it menacing laughter? Hey, you just got tart from walking on there? Oh, see, good. I knew it was important. So the best thing, like, the way it affects my ability to focus or keep a thought, right? So, but the best way to understand it is if, like, imagine that, like, my dad was on the phone with me and I heard beeping behind him because he was by his car or something, his door, I don't know what it was, but, and I just go like, beeping, and I'm a little bit more free with my parents because they've been really supportive. I've been very lucky that I have parents that care enough. I wish they would, like, read more books so they could become, like, I kind of want to ask them to explain it, but they would feel, I don't know, I don't want to put them on the spot, but I wish more people were curious enough and felt safe enough to ask, because I sure as hell didn't know what autism was until 2.5 years, or almost 3 years ago. And if someone would take the time to explain it to me in person, you know, I would feel privileged to have somebody if it seemed like they actually understood. I feel like I understand it to a degree that I can explain it well. It's about how human variability of the nervous system that affects the way your body processes sensory and social information. Effectively, you could think of it as if your thoughts, like if your thyroid hormone can overproduce or underproduce thyroid hormone. I meant thyroid gland. And that causes issues. It's like having your thoughts and feelings gland, which is your nervous system and your brain. It's having your thoughts and feelings gland that overproduces thoughts and feelings. Or under. And that's why you get drastic ranges within this big spectrum of autistic profiles. Because it's about variable nervous systems. It's really not as complicated as people think, but when you think about how complicated nervous systems are, the downstream effects of that variability can vary widely, especially once you add all this complex ways that our bodies can, like, mask it for so long. We're social animals, and so we have these incredibly intuitive social engines inside of us that none of us are even aware of. Except for hypervigilant, hyper-empathic, autistic people like myself. They spend all their time trying to figure it out. But here's how it feels. And then we're going to say bye. It's like if you're reading a book, you can imagine a Kindle or your phone, and someone comes up and puts their hand on the page. You know? But it's, you know, take away the part where you go, hey, what the hell are you doing? You don't do that. But, like, it's just like if you're absorbing information. And so when I'm focusing and I'm feeling good, and that's why the cat thing, I've talked about it a ton on the other show. I didn't even talk about it tonight. I got rid of the cat and found her home. I told the story on Winners and Losers. And just her presence in my body was so powerful because all I could do is think about her if she was awake especially. And that really caused a lot of issues with my ability to concentrate and get anything done. So then I'd stress out about stuff. But it's like my dad on the phone, and I hear the beeping, and it's like I'm reading a book, and suddenly someone's hand is on the page. Or, in other words, like, suddenly 40 to 60% of the words are obscured. You know? So all of a sudden, your brain just goes, like, you know, you're looking at something, you know, you're supposed to get that information, you know, you just had it, it's probably going to come back. Definitely doesn't always, but it's just you just can't access it, and then that trips up your focus and your concentration, and then that can cause downstream effects for being able to resume functioning. You can get back to it, kind of. Music is a huge part of it. One thing autistic people do, another reason I'm confident, is listen to songs on repeat. It's a form of auditory stimming. Eating the same meal over. I could eat General Tso's chicken for 3 weeks in a row and never get bored. I might try switch it up after 3 or 4 weeks, 2 or 3, but I could easily do that. I watch Star Trek. I've been watching Star Trek for 15 years every night, because if I don't have something in my ears making noise while I go to sleep, I can't go to, like, my head races too much. I could do some other stuff. I could probably work on that one too, like books and stuff, but that's because I find it so comforting. And that's not to say that, oh my God, like, he thinks he's autistic because he watches Star Trek. It's like, no, that's how I'm coping with the way my brain processes its own thoughts while I'm trying to go to bed. And if all I need to do to fall asleep is focus, actually, I fall asleep faster if I pay attention. It's kind of crazy. But the hand on the book metaphor, this is the stuff I eventually hope to write a book. I really do think I could do that, because it's its own personal memoir sort of deal. And but it is like, just all of a sudden you just can't do it. You just can't get that information, and then it trips you up. Now place that into other scenarios where it's like you have to make a decision in a job interview. You have to try to meet that, say something at a party, it's not just job interviews and parties, but social scenarios where it's important that you don't screw up. And maybe you missed out on a little piece of information that you should have heard, and you already have a different perspective on the world. You already kind of think, your brain's going to maybe just process stuff a little bit differently. Sometimes that means you're really good at other stuff. Like, I think language skill is one of mine. Editing and being tedious, good at woodworking. Woodworking and editing use the same set of skills, different level of band-aids. Both mess up your cartilage in your wrists, so I'm fucked. But, so just, and so you miss out. And there's so many really good reasons why the unemployment rate for autistic people is in the 80 percentile. And even if that's an overestimation, it's not by much. It's probably in the 60 percentile. You know what I'm saying? It's not like, oh, it's actually 12%. And for those that can work and do find jobs, it's because they figure out a way to do work that fits within their autistic profile that helps them. And I am hoping to do that, but it means being a crazy weirdo on the internet and and I want to make more documentary stuff, or maybe other things. Okay. Wow. I really had to get that out, didn't I? Hour and 30 minutes. We're good. A lot of good fishing going on over here too. I built this little, look, what? Oh, I thought that fish was on his side. I was like, do they do dead fish? But I flattened up this spot so that when you catch the fish, you can drag them up on this little spot here, and they're easier to catch. Diabolical. So, yeah. It was kind of fun here, This is the plains, the groupers. They're kind of ugly, like a pockmarked reddish white, sort of ugly fish, aren't they? But there's got to be some big ones out there. That's another big goal of ours, is to get all fish, all the sizes. I hope you learned something. I think I did a decent job explaining some of that. Not that that was the goal of tonight's episode. But, yeah, look at all this space to explore. Up here is where we went. And there's Mistlands, which I'm really eager to do some adventuring on camera. So we'll be doing that someday. Hopefully not too far. Oh, it's a shadow. A shadow from a sky fish. All right. My face is really lit up now that the sun came up, isn't it? Okay, I can't stop. I hope you're doing okay. I hope you're hanging in there. keep your head out of the national politics if it's driving you absolutely bonkers. It's do what you got to do. Be safe. Be smart. Don't be slow. Meaning like try to make decisions with thoughtfulness, including put your phone down a little more. I'm talking to myself, but we all gotta kind of like nurture our brains a bit more. We gotta treat our heads like we're a cosmic miracle that evolved on the only known location where heaven exists, and that the demons we allow to make decisions on our behalf. We don't have to allow this. It doesn't have to be this way, but the demons get to control the information you receive, and they've turned heaven into a work camp. And it's really mad. It's really not okay. And we can do something about that. But we gotta ask scientists more Nobel Prize winning questions. See, I turned it back into a funnier part. Okay then. All right, we'll stay here. We'll just turn it off here. All right, good night. I'll see you in the next one. Check out Winners and Losers. Check out Suck Professor. And 2025 is going to be a nice year for everybody. It won't be, but it probably will be better for me in terms of how bad the last other few years have been, and just on my own personal sense. But I'm still going to be very stressed out by the news, but I've always been super stressed out by the news. Not that that makes any of it. Oh man, I'm so sad about everything. Good night. Bye-bye. Bye.